These are some lovely little wraps that I've created for these soaps. You could also use them as bookmarks. I'm going to show you how I created them using Derwent Inktense pencils, but you could also use watercolour pencils. Here I'm just roughly sketching out the shapes of the flowers. Keep it nice and loose. Here I'm just going to add a little darker colour to the centre of the flowers. Some green here to create the shape of the leaves with a little bit of shading just near the flowers. The pigment in the Inktense pencils is very strong, so just adding a little bit of colour will give you enough pigment to give a really intense colour. Now I'm using just a round brush, it's about a number 4, and just using plain water and moving the pigment around in a very loose way. Just picking up a little bit more water. Need plenty of water for these flowers. I don't wash my brush, I'm just dipping it in the water, so there's generally a little bit of pigment left on the brush. See how easy the pigment is to move around? Don't worry about staying in the lines, keeping these flowers nice and loose. Here I'm just touching the brush to the tip of the pencil to pick up just a little bit more colour, adding a background. Just softening that white paper a little bit. The paper I'm using is a Canson drawing paper. It's lighter than the watercolour paper, but it still has a nice little bit of texture to it. I think from memory it's about 180 GSM, or it could be possibly 225, I can't remember. But any watercolour paper would be perfect for this project. Here I'm just using a biro, but you could definitely use a outline drawing pen, some coloured pens or gel pens, or even just your Inktense pencils to do this part, just adding a little bit of detail. Keeping it nice and simple. I'm just showing you a few of the different colour choices that you could make. Here's the soap, it's an Australian made soap, but any soap would do. That is more of a rectangle than a rounded or oval soap. They'd be more difficult to wrap. Just using a little bit of sticky tape. You could, if you didn't want to use sticky tape, you could just use a little bit of glue there on the sleeve. Then I just wrap it in a little bit of twine, but you know, the choice is yours. You could use some lace or some ribbon. I like the rustic look, but there are so many variations that you could use here. And there we go, aren't they pretty? And here they are wrapped. Hope you've enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.